doing experimental setup on Zoom and on Facebook because I'm not sure which one will be better quality. On Zoom, you would see the document which I have prepared for my TD Bank manager. In this document, I have listed all the questions and I've written all the answers which they have provided to me so far. So it looks like that. I'm just showing on the Facebook channel. Yeah, but we'll just go one by one through the questions which are there, because most of these questions have been actually addressed, I think, quite reasonably. So I'll just go one by one. It seems that the questions fall into one of three categories. General, what will happen to me if I don't do it, let's say, or if I opt out, or if I don't use digital banking. The second type of questions is how much control do they get out of my money without my permission, right? And the third type of questions relate to privacy concerns. So let's just go one by one, and for those who are on Zoom, you would see it in better quality, but I will be reading. So general questions. First, I want to receive communications by mail. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it. You go to your app on your phone, and there is a button there. You go to settings, communications, and there is online or paper. And I've tested it. It's just a click of a button. So no problem with that. And now, is this agreement related to digital currency? If so, how? They told me it has nothing to do with digital currency. Okay, so this is just about digital banking and access. Okay, now what I'm saying here is it's how I understood. Then I printed all my questions on a piece of paper, and today I brought it to my bank agent. And they told me they will get back to me by the end of the week. And a good experience which I have with my bank, maybe also due to the fact that the lady whom I'm talking to, she's Russian speaking. She's from another ex-Soviet Union space. So we understand each other quite well. So we talk even in Russian. I referred to problems with the bank last year. She knows what I'm talking about. I talk about the fears, the concerns, which are expressed by many related to how much they could lose potentially with this new agreement. And I think she understands. She comes from a different cultural background, more like myself, because she also lives in Soviet Union. So she knows what I'm talking about when I talk about propaganda, when I talk about controlling people's minds and money. So I think she is quite helpful, but she's still junior advisor. So she told me she would consult with her manager, and I already talked to the manager on the phone last week. That's how I got all the responses, and that's how I put them on paper. But now I ask her, really, please go through these questions and answers, and let's make sure we understand each other very well. Okay, let's go back to general questions. Okay, what happens to those who don't want to use digital banking? And digital banking means online banking on your EasyWeb application or phone app banking. Okay, so there is no requirement for you to use digital banking. That's I was told. It's optional. If you don't want to use digital banking, you just don't do it, and that's what my parents would be doing. Your debit cards, your credit cards would be just working as fine. You won't see any difference. Okay, seems like quite reasonable. So essentially, they will not notice any difference whatsoever, and by default, they agree with new agreements. So they don't need to do anything. it will be very smooth for them. People who don't use any digital banking. And again, it is assumed that they agreed by default. And the last question in this category is what happens to people who decide not to accept the new access agreement? Okay, then you will not be able to use your debit card, but you still will be able to come into the bank, show your ID. That's what they thought. They show your ID, valid ID, prove yourself who you are, and you will be able to do the transaction, whatever you want. Okay, so that's the first set of questions. Okay, now the second set of questions related to how much control do they get, and they have questions like, okay, they can make changes to services without you letting know. They can set limit or change the limit, the dollar limits which you can take from the bank, and they told me multiple times that this is all related to fraud-related matters. But I told them, why isn't it written explicitly anywhere that this is related to fraud? And this lady told me, actually, she agreed with me that this would leave opportunity for essentially for someone to exploit this open statement, because it doesn't say anything related to fraud. It just says we can do all those changes without you letting know. We can limit, we can change the limits of how much you can take with your card, and it doesn't say anywhere this is somehow related to fraud or any, let's say, transactions, your own transactions, or your own risks associated with your own transaction. So, okay, she agreed that this is indeed, it's like a loophole or opportunity to exploit by potentially, let's say, by some governments or political parties or someone else. So she will get back to me on that. Now, I will provide you a link to this document, so I don't want to spend too much of your time just reading all those questions one by one, but you got the point that there are many questions related to the fact that they can change what you can do with your card or your money, and they may not tell you about that. So again, we ask them specifically, I ask them, can you provide me more specifics for which purpose and under which conditions this could happen, that it would limit access to my money in whatever manner. And they told me they will get back to me. Okay, and the last set of questions relates to privacy, right? So at the time you ask to begin a relationship with us, we may share information with worldwide affiliates. So again, here they told me that this is if you travel, let's say, and you want to use the services. Indeed, they would need to share this information, your information, with worldwide affiliates through which you're using these services. Okay, seems like okay, quite reasonable. But again, we just would like to make sure that's exactly what it is for. And that's why I asked her, can we make it more specific that this is only related to my own banking needs, essentially. It's not related to any other needs or matters by other employers, by governments, or whoever. We have nothing to do with my banking needs. So, and related to the same privacy concern, also, we would like to know who are exactly the third parties with whom they could share my private information. Because in the agreement, they say third parties, right? So, indeed, it seems like the document is written in such a way that it is justified for the business needs of a client and the bank. But it is written in such a general terms that it does allow for someone to exploit the openness of this document in such a way that it could be used for some other needs which are not expressly or explicitly defined. So I hope this answers most of your questions. And again, I suggest that everyone would do the same. Just write your questions, go to your local bank, and try to make it more specific. For which scenarios this could be done, or for which scenarios it may never be done, such as not limiting access to your bank account or transactions. You won't be able to do transactions or do anything. So thank you for watching, and please continue sending me questions. I will try to address them. Apparently, all this information is also available somehow on the TD Bank portal, and I will even find a link to the agreement. So they have a link to the old agreement and new agreement, and you don't need to go to my uploaded documents. You can just go to their official documents, which are published on their official website. Good luck. Stay positive. Maybe not everything is as scary as it seems in the beginning. Okay, cheers. Now I will close the meeting. Bear with me. You can now also stop this video, but I need to stop the recording of my session here. Okay.